Most people think that having more money will help them with their money issues, but that's not the case. You are not broke because you lack money or because you are unable to buy the things you need and fancy. There is no dollar amount for being broke, but you somehow let that mindset define you. We often struggle to manage the money we already have while still wanting more. How many times have you received extra income just to spend it all within a few days? Is it your fault or is it the money's? We think that more money will change our spending habits, but in reality, more money just makes the bad ones more obvious. You cannot solve your financial problems by complaining about the things you lack if you wish to avoid feeling broke. By changing your bad habits and being more financially aware, you can stop being broke. In this video, we will discuss these bad money habits that make you broke constantly. First of all, your mindset. People who constantly feel broke have a negative mindset toward money. They frequently say, "I can't afford this." That unconsciously allows you to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm a poor person. I can't afford that. I'll never have that. It's not a big issue, whatever." Rather than wondering, "How can I afford that?" This mindset encourages you to think, for instance, if I can buy assets and create $1,000 in passive income each month, I'll be able to finance this car. Ask yourself, how can I afford to travel? Rather than I can't afford to travel. What has to change in my life for me to be able to do this, to have what I desire, or to live this lifestyle? Be honest with yourself about what needs to change. Instead of creating your own successful life, you spend too much time watching how others live theirs. Feeling broke isn't always a result of poor money management. It also has to do with how you spend your time. What are you doing the most of your time? Are you consistently acquiring new knowledge by reading, or are you neglecting your own life while observing how others live theirs? What do you do with your spare time when you're not working, looking after your kids, or managing your business? How much time do you spend watching TV? How much time do you spend on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram? Being entertained is fun, but having money is better. Do you value your financial freedom more than social media likes? The choice is yours. The solution? Put the phone down. Start keeping track of how much time you spend on social media each week. Using time management tools in your phone settings will help you get started limiting your time on social media. If you find yourself scrolling, commenting, and liking on social media for an unnecessary length of time, your phone settings will alert you and restrict your usage. Spend more time reading, taking more classes, attending seminars, listening to motivational podcasts, working out, or meditating instead of spending hours each day on social media. You don't have an emergency fund. An emergency fund is money set aside to cover significant unforeseen costs like unexpected medical costs, replacements or repair of home appliances, major auto repairs, and unemployment. When you have an emergency fund, you can survive a financial emergency without having to turn to credit cards or expensive loans. If you are in debt, having an emergency fund might be extremely crucial because it can prevent you from taking out additional loans. Your financial situation will determine how much money you should set aside, but as a rule of thumb, you should have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses set aside. If you freelance or work seasonally, you could need more. Even $500 in savings can help you out of many financial emergencies. Your emergency fund must be kept in an accessible savings account with a high interest rate. Quick access is essential due to the fact that emergencies might happen at any time. To avoid being tempted to spend your reserves, the account should be different from the one you use daily. You must be aware of what is coming in and going out to get rid of debt, saving money, investing, and just enjoying life. You need to have a plan around your finances in order to do any of these things. That requires having a budget. A budget not only allows you to plan out what you may spend, save, and invest, but also ensures that your expenses are kept below your income. The richest people on earth have budgets and manage to stay wealthy. Although they may not refer to them as budgets, they definitely have strategies for their spending, saving, and investing. And if they do, you need to follow that example. The goal is to keep financial control and not to spend your money randomly. They don't pay themselves first. Most people tend to spend their money and then say, "Oh, I need to save." Then at the end of the month, they just forget and they never really save. So instead, you must pay yourself first. This means that you should pay yourself first before paying your mortgage, your light bill, or your wardrobe expenses. The pay yourself first budget means setting aside and saving a fixed amount of money each month before you spend it on anything else. This strategy is often described as reverse budgeting. Paying yourself first ensures that saving becomes a priority. Your savings become a monthly expense that you owe every month or with each paycheck. This way, more money will go into your investment, savings, and your future. You should also pay yourself first because it will motivate you. If you pay yourself first and come short at the end of the month to pay your bills, you're forced to be creative and figure out ways to start earning more money. You might need to start investing more or work a side job. To make more money, you must change your habits. It is obvious that you don't want to act irresponsibly, but you also need to put pressure on yourself to pursue a brighter future. They don't invest. I realized that the wealthiest people were investing. Many people don't, because no one ever taught them or explained it to them. Or when you told people that you wanted to start, you heard comments such as, "Oh, that's risky," or "That's gambling." They obviously lack investment knowledge. Some people will invest in higher risk stocks as if it were a gamble. Don't get me wrong, but investing can be done in many different safe ways. One safe way of investing is investing in ETFs. Exchange-traded funds are exactly what their name suggests. Funds that trade on exchanges and track a certain index. When you invest in an ETF, you get a basket of assets that you can buy and sell during trading hours, potentially reducing your risk and exposure. An example of such an ETF is the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is a stock market index that is used to measure the overall performance of the stock market. It includes around 500 of the largest US companies across 11 different sectors to offer a picture of the health of the US stock market and the broader economy. Without accounting for inflation, the S&P 500's annual total return, which includes dividends, has been roughly 10% for almost the past century. They work for money. People who dislike the wealthy often complain that they didn't work very hard, if at all, to earn their wealth. But the reason these people aren't wealthy is that they are missing the point. You see, working for money never made anyone truly wealthy. Consider this. What job, no matter how hard you worked, could ever make you really rich unless you were a corporate CEO or a Major League Baseball player? Even people who make a lot of money are aware that the money they make from working is only the tip of the iceberg. The rich do not work for money, they make their money work for them. So, solution. Start taking care of your own business. Many people will only ever think about their income and never go beyond working for a paycheck. You must stop constantly trading your time for money if you want to achieve financial freedom. You need to start concentrating on assets that will continue to pay you while you are sleeping, such as purchasing real estate, stocks, or beginning a business. When you reach a certain point in your business, you can stop worrying about your paycheck and eventually quit your job. But if you love your job, you can continue to do it without worrying about your paycheck. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Check if you haven't subscribed yet so you don't miss any of our videos, and of course, leave a comment. Remember, there's a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary. Poor is eternal.